So here are the ingredients that I'll be using for this dish. So I'll be using some freshly washed and chopped kale, some ash browns, I'm using some onions, some sweet pepper, I'm using 1 egg which I beat together with a little bit of milk, I'm using some marble cheese, I'm using some dried bacon, a pinch of paprika, some salt and pepper, and a bit of parsley to season after. So let's do this. So with my frying pan on my stove, I'm just going to add a bit of oil right into there. And I'm just going to let this heat up just a bit. So it's been a few minutes, so my oil is nice and hot now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is add in my ash browns. And these are frozen. So with my stove on medium heat, I'm just going to turn these and just let them slowly get some time. So about every 5 minutes or so, just to ensure that these cook evenly on all sides. So it's been 5 minutes now. So now I'm just turning my ash browns. It's kind of hard when I have the camera, so bear with me. Alright, so I've turned it, so you see how some of them are crisp up? That's how you want it. At least that's how I like one side of mine. So now what I do is I just turn my stove down on low because I'm not trying to crisp the entire thing. You don't want it too crispy. And with that now, I'm just going to season with a little bit of black pepper. And I'm going to add a bit of salt. Alright, timer, I hear you. And then I'm going to mix that in. And then I'll come back in another 5 minutes. So it's been another 5 minutes. So this is pretty much all done. It has crisped up nicely with some soft pieces still in there, which is what you want. So what I'm doing is just scraping this to the side because now I'm going to prepare my eggs. Usually some people will pour the egg all over it, but I don't like it. I find that it just makes it too, what would I say, soft, sappy, if you ask me. So I'm going to make my egg on the side and then I'll just combine it right in there. So I'm just adding a bit of butter, just right there to the corner. We're going to let that melt. That looks good. And now what I'm going to do is add my egg into there. And it's okay if some of the egg does combine with it, it's okay. I just don't want it all over. And we're going to scramble this basically, just right into the side. It's okay if some of the pieces get into there, that's no problem. We're going to add a little bit of salt, just so this kind of has its own little flavor. And we're going to add a bit of black pepper, because I love black pepper in my egg. Can't eat it without it. Alright, so now that that's cooked a bit, I'm just going to combine it now with my ash browns. Kind of hard doing this with the camera. I can't go as fast as I normally would when I don't have the camera on. The amount of eggs depends on how much you want inside your dish. So you can add 2 eggs, 5, whichever one you like. It's really up to you and what you prefer. Alright, that looks good. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my onions right into there. However long you cook these onions depend on how crunchy you want them in your dish. And I'm going to add my sweet peppers as well. And then last but not least, I'm going to add my fresh kale right into there. I love kale. It's really good and it tastes amazing. And then I'm going to mix this all right in. And make sure your stove is on very, very low now, because the heat from the ash brown will help this to cook a bit as well. And I'm going to mix this in. So we're 2 minutes in so far. So with that said, the bacon is optional. You can use real bacon if you want. It's really up to you. So I'm just going to add some of that right into there. Look at that. And the paprika is also optional. I'm just going to add a pinch of paprika right into there. Just a pinch. And then I'm going to mix that in. And then I'm going to just cover this slightly, with the pot cover slightly off, because I don't want to make too much steam. And then it becomes watery in there. Don't want that. And then I'm just going to let this sit for about, we'll say anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. And then we'll come back and check on this bad boy. If you need more seasoning, you can go ahead and add it. I'm just adding a tinge more black pepper to this. And I'm adding a bit more salt because I want to make sure this is nicely seasoned. But you don't want to overdo it now. That's why I've been adding it gradually rather than full on. And now I'm going to add my parsley. Tell me that doesn't look delicious already. Like, look at that. That's like a proper breakfast right there. It smells great. It's healthy. It's delicious. And it is ours. That's looking so good. So you see how these are just withering down nicely? That's what you want. So I mixed mine in for about a minute. So now that I'm done doing that, I'm just going to cover this halfway out because I still want to make a little bit of steam, but I don't want to make enough steam where I close it and then it gets all wet and softy kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to leave it like that for about 7 to 10 minutes and then come back and my dish is ready. Keep in mind my stove is on low heat. Alright, so now I'm going to make myself a nice little smoothie. So you can either use your own fruit and cut them up and add them to your blender. But here I usually buy the 4-blend smoothies from the store, the fruits. I'm just going to add some fruits right into my 1-person blender. And this is some peach juice I'm using. I'm just going to add some of that right into there, just enough. And then we're going to cover that. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're approximately 5 minutes in, so I'm just checking on my dish here. And then I'm just going to turn it because I want to ensure that all my kale gets steamed nicely. And it smells so amazing, oh my goodness. And then once I'm done turning that, I'm just going to cover it right back and let it finish. So after my dish is done, I'm just going to put it right on my plate. And then once you're done, you can sprinkle it with cheese or you can add the cheese once it's in the pot. It's really optional and up to you and what you prefer. I'm just going to add mine right on top of there. So make sure you guys be sure to try out this dish. You won't be sorry. It is delicious and I guarantee you'll definitely love it as much as I do.